Are you ready to take your message, your business, and your life to the next level?
Want to learn from someone with more than a decade of experience, training tens of thousands of people from all around the world?
Hi, Cliff. This is Pauline from Auckland, New Zealand.
John from Calgary, Alberta.
Amy Porterfield.
Michael Hyatt.
Dan here from Dunedin, New Zealand.
Ray Edwards.
Mark Mason. Mike Stelzner.
Pat from Smart Passive Income.
It's Darren from Melbourne, Australia.
Now is the time to live the life of your dreams and do the work you feel most called to do in the world.
Welcome to the Cliff Ravenscraft Show.
Here's your host, Cliff Ravenscraft.
That's right, my friends. Welcome back to another episode of the Cliff Ravenscraft Show. I am super excited to share with you this episode, bringing you into a brand new year. 2019 is upon us, and I know that a lot of you are out there thinking about what you would love to change in the year ahead. There are things that you would like to get some different results in life, some area of your life that you want to take to the next level. And well, I have a message for you in this podcast episode that I hope will be delivered in such a way that you'll never forget this message. In fact, I have one phrase that I want you to repeat after me. Are you ready? I don't care where you're at. Even if you're standing in line at Starbucks right now, I want you to do this. Trust me, it'll be fun. All right, you ready? All beliefs have consequences.
All beliefs have consequences.
Did you hear that? I don't know if you heard that. My son Matthew is in the studio with me, and he thought that, okay, I'll play along. So there you go. All beliefs have consequences. You must understand that first and foremost. If you want to get different results in any area of life in 2019, if you are sick and tired of getting the same results in your physical fitness, if you're sick and tired of the same results in the way that you relate to your spouse, if you're sick and tired of the same results in the way that you have a difficult time relating to your children, if you are sick and tired of having the same old results in the day job, or in the profitability of your online business, or whatever it is, if you are sick and tired of getting the same results, then, well, guess what? You're going to have to work towards getting new results. Okay, blind case of the obvious there, right? But for you to be able to get different results in the year ahead, you are going to have to take different actions. It's A equals R. It's very simple formula. Your actions equal the results that you get in life. So if you are incredibly overweight, and I can say this because I was that person, I had allowed myself to get up to 278 pounds back in January 2009 is when I weighed my heaviest. And I can tell you right now that the result was I was nearly 300 pounds. I had way more body fat than I could possibly carry around in a healthy manner, and it was literally killing me. And I ended up in the hospital in January 2009 and almost died. So that was my results. Okay, what actions led me to get there? Well, you could probably guess some of those actions. Eating a lot and moving very little. Okay, so what did I need to do? I needed to change my actions. And some of you, that's exactly what you want to do. You want to get some different results in your overall physical health. You want to drop 20 pounds, 30 pounds, maybe 100 pounds. It's possible, but only possible if you change your actions. And the reality is that how many times have we attempted to get different results in life? We make that commitment over and over again at the beginning of a new year, or at the beginning of a new month, or the beginning of a new week. It doesn't matter when. The reality is that we make the commitment. We say we're going to start doing different actions in our life, and we do it for a period of time, and we start seeing progress towards results. But then we slip right back into the old pattern of activities. The old actions find their way back into our lifestyle. And then all of a sudden, those same old actions equal the same old results. Has this ever happened to you? It's happened to me so many times. Until I learned that all actions in our life are belief driven. I'll say that again. All actions in our life are belief driven. It's what we believe. All beliefs have consequences. Let me share with you some beliefs that I've heard recently from some friends that I've been working with. I just recently had somebody who has an audience of stay-at-home moms. She has successfully sold almost $60K in products and services of very low-cost products and services. The profit margin isn't all that high. But for them to be able to have her husband leave the day job, they need a significant increase. I mean, they need a significant increase in the profitability of their business. And their biggest dream, their biggest desire is to bring the husband home to work full time, to bring his gifts and talents into this business so that they can work together as a team. And they have a vision and they have a mission and they have a purpose of what they want to do, why they want to do it. And it's incredibly awesome. But here's a belief. My audience are stay-at-home moms, and well, they generally don't have very much money. And in my mind, I think of a pricier product as $50. And also this person was struggling with the fact that everything pretty much had to be a physical product. I believe that my customers always want that physical something that they can receive and say, this is something that I paid for. I can tangibly see the value of what I've paid for. And for them to go and say, hey, I just don't know if I could create a membership program where stay-at-home moms would pay $250 per month. If you don't believe that your audience can afford or would be willing to pay $250 a month for a non-physical product, well, guess what? If you have that belief has a consequence. That consequence is that you're not going to go and create any products like that. You're not going to go into the development and thought process of what could I create. You won't even think of the possibilities that exist for you because you've already set in your mind that you believe that it's not possible. All right? I've heard this one over the years so many times. My audience are Christians. And well, Christians are known for not being the type of people who are willing to pay for anything, especially if it's even closely smacks of being related to ministry, because they feel like everything should be done for free. It should be available for free, or at least if it's not free, it better be on a nonprofit basis, because boy, if I'm going to earn a profit from this, they won't be having that. I can't begin to tell you the number of times that I've heard that limiting belief. By the way, the fact that stay-at-home moms have no money to spend, it's not true. The fact that Christians aren't willing to spend money, not true. The fact that Christian, or the idea, it's not the fact, the idea that a Christian is not willing to pay for something where the person who they're giving the money to is going to profit greatly as a result, that's not true. I can tell you it's not. For all of these beliefs, I can tell you there is proof and evidence to the contrary. What about this one? Every time I lose weight, I just gain it all back. So why bother trying? All beliefs have consequences. The gym is full of extremely fit people that will judge me as soon as I walk in the door. All beliefs have consequences. Here's one. And I'm not going to say who this is, and I'm going to ask my son not to respond in the gallery here. I'm not a morning person. I've heard some folks say that before in my life. I'm not a morning person. By the way, I'm not suggesting that you need to be a morning person, but your belief that you're not a morning person, you can defend it as long as you want. And as long as you're willing to defend your belief, it's actually going to be true for you. Henry Ford is very well known for being one who has said, whether you believe you can or believe you can't, you're right. Now, let me ask you this. What about somebody who wants to build a business? All right. And this business is an online business where he is a life coach, where he mentors people through getting help with mental health conditions. And this person desperately wants to build a profitable business where he can go full time into that line of work. And the problem is many times we have beliefs and we aren't even aware that the belief exists, number one. We're not even aware that the belief exists. And if we become aware of it, we have no idea where it came from and how it's impacting us. So for example, I just recently did a free webinar / live mentoring session. This is for people who have signed up for my opening keynote address. I don't know if you've heard, but the Free the Dream online course, I've told people you can get free access to the opening session of the Free the Dream conference, or the Free the Dream online course version of the conference. And if you get that opening session, it's a 1-hour talk that will help you understand what a belief is, where they came from, how you developed them, and how to evaluate those limiting beliefs, and how to eradicate, eliminate, completely get rid of all the limiting beliefs that are holding you back as you become aware of them one by one, and how to replace them with empowering beliefs that are going to get you new results. Because until you get rid of the beliefs that are holding you back, you will not be able to sustain the new actions you need to take in your life. So, what if you were somebody who was looking to build a business as a life coach, and you are not aware, you're completely unconscious of the fact that you believe deep in your heart that our society does not put a lot of value in mental health or coaching? What if that was your belief? If you believe that overall, generally, the overall population, a majority of the people out there, do not put value in seeking mental health and paying for coaching to do that. If you have that belief, and you're not even aware that you have that belief, but it just comes out in a conversation through a mentoring session with someone, just imagine how much breakthrough you could make in your life and in the pursuit of your business when all of a sudden you become aware of it. And that's exactly what you're about ready to hear in this episode. You see, if you go over to mindsetanswerman.com/free session, mindsetanswerman.com/free session, you can sign up today and you can request free access to the opening 1-hour session of the Free the Dream online course, and it will help you break free from limiting beliefs that are holding you back. But here's the thing. I have been following up with those who have already requested access. And if you haven't done so already, go over there now, mindsetanswerman.com/free session. Request access today. And if you do, chances are you'll be invited, just like those folks have been invited, to some of the free live group mentoring sessions. Now, when I say group mentoring, all I mean is that there's a live audience. People are watching as this is happening. And I take volunteers. And I just did this past weekend, and I had 3 different people who volunteered to be mentored by me in front of everyone else. All right, so that's not for the faint at heart. It takes a lot of courage to be that vulnerable. And I want to say thank you to Rob Borgenson and also to Scott Markowitz and to Colin Yearwood. These individuals are incredible humans, and I'm going to be sharing some of those recordings in my vlog. I'm sharing Scott's session with me here in this podcast episode, just so you can get a feel for what it's like to actually work with me through a mentoring session. But I want to walk you through and let you see where limiting beliefs kind of just pop up and show up. So in the live mentoring session that I did, Scott was one of the people who stepped up. And I'm going to tell you that when Scott first posted his question before I brought him in, his first question earlier into the meeting was, Cliff, how does one get their spouse on board with their dream of starting their own online business if they're not on, if your spouse isn't on the same page? That was posted at the very start of our call. But when we jumped into my session directly, one-on-one with Scott, we didn't jump straight into that question because he had pulled away from that, and he jumped straight into his question about coworkers who were, kind of just didn't believe and understand what he's doing, and it was causing him to doubt some of it's causing him to lose his confidence. And what I discovered working with Scott is that originally he believed that maybe one of his issues and struggles in his pursuit of his own business and becoming a paid life coach is that, well, he struggles because every time he builds up his own confidence, he has conversations with people that cause him to doubt once again. And trust me, I know all about that. And you'll hear my conversation with him about how to handle that. And then to surround yourself with people who believe in you, who know it's not only possible, but it's actually quite simple. And here's the step-by-step, and here are some things. And what I want you to hear is that we get eventually to a place where he believes that another reason why he's not yet made significant success in getting paid as a life coach is because, well, one thing that's holding me back is that I really want to have a professional website. And I'm like, okay, first of all, you do not need any website to get paid to do coaching, and we talk a little bit about that. But I want you to listen to this entire mentoring session that I did with Scott, because it didn't actually come out into the end. There was a limiting belief that I believe is the true root cause of one of the biggest obstacles, and it was not even something that Scott was aware of. And you're going to hear Scott say, as a fact, he's going to state as a fact, in his own words, he's going to say, our society doesn't put a lot of value in mental health and coaching. He stated that as a fact. And as soon as I heard that, I'm like, there's one we need to work on. I hope that you will listen to this thing all the way through, and that you will hear some of your own struggle, some of your own limiting beliefs, and you will think about, oh, wow, how can I take into stock here what I'm believing and the consequences those beliefs are having in my life. All beliefs have consequences. I'll tell you what, I'm not going to say anything more than that. I'm going to let you transition right into the recording of my live mentoring session with Scott Markowitz, who has given me permission to share this with you. And then I'll come back and check in with you at the very end. Okay, Scott, what's up, my friend? What was your question? Remind me of your question again.
How's it going, Cliff?
I'm doing awesome.
So,
how are you?
I'm doing really well, thank you.
Awesome.
So, yeah, the question really revolves around, I've been putting in a lot of effort. I've been putting in a lot of time to advance towards my goals, but there's always, people around me at work, and stuff at home sometimes that introduce second guessing,
Yep.
like because the belief system, from like some of my coworkers is like, really, are you going to be able to really, replace your income doing this? Is that really possible? And, so like it just creates this second guessing, and it creates these little speed bumps for me.
Yep. So number one, a couple of thoughts for you on the coworkers situation is stop talking to them about becoming self-employed.
Oh,
Seriously.
That's simple, right?
What?
Right. Okay.
Yeah, stop talking about. I'm not saying stop talking to them. I mean, talk to them about what they talk to them about what they normally like to. I'm sure they like to talk about the weather. I'm sure they like to talk about what happened on this, their favorite sports team, whether it's football, basketball, whatever. I'm sure they like to talk about, just talk about what they like to talk about. But whatever you do, don't talk about your going out and building a life coach thing, because it's, quite frankly, you're not going to get the support you need and the mentality and mindset to support your own new beliefs that you have about replacing your income. What you want to do is you want to start having more conversations and spending more time with people who believe that not only can you replace your income, but it's simple. Seriously, it's simple. I mean, I don't care where you are in whatever position that you're in. The question is, it just comes down to a dollar figure. So, Scott, I don't know if you want to share what your dollar figure is, or if you want to just give me somebody else's random dollar figure that you think they might need. But how much annual income does one need to replace a typical day job in your mind?
70,000.
70K. All right. So I am terrible at live math. Where's my phone at, Stephanie? All right. So check this out. 70K is, okay. So, by the way, you need to do life with people who think like what you're about ready to hear. So 70,000 divided by 12, all right? That is $5,833. Let's just upgrade that to $6K, all right? Now, are they making $70,000 plus they have health insurance benefits?
Yes.
All right, so hold on. Let's hold the phone there. We all know that for the entire family, it's going to be like $1,500 a month for health insurance. No way I could ever leave the day job because I can't get health insurance without it. Okay, so you got $70K. We're actually going to. So you need $6,000 or $6,000 per month to replace the $70K. All right, plus you need $1,500 a month for health insurance. And the reason I know it's $1,500 a month, that's about what our health insurance just went up to. We're self-employed. It's ridiculous, but it is what it is. It's $1,500 a month for our family health insurance. So yeah, you have to pay for it yourself. Your employer doesn't pay it. That still means you only need $7,500 per month. Let's just take it, just because you might want to put some money away for your high deductible and stuff like that. Just because I hate math, I'm just gonna would you settle for $8,000 a month to replace your day job? Let's do 8,000. That'd bring you to 96K. All right. So let's just say 8. Okay. So now you need to be doing life with people who believe this. I need $8,000 a month in my business. All right. So first and foremost, the question is who am I? What do I bring to the table? What kind of expertise, experience do I have that can add value to people's lives, that they can take what I'm going to invest in them and get a great return on investment? And the funny thing is, I always ask this question, is there anything that you can do where you could find one client who will pay you $8,000 a month? And do you know what most people say? That's impossible. And I'm so, well, then why is your employer paying you that right now?
Yeah. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. Right now you have one client who is who basically is working with Scott Merkowitz Incorporated. You just happen to have a business who is you, and you have one client, and it's in your employer, and you've just told me that they're paying you $96,000 a year.
Right. Now it's a different field than, what I want to go into. So that also creates some hesitation sometimes, when I'm going through and trying to move forward.
Yep.
That always creeps into the back of my mind that, my skill set lies elsewhere. Yes, I'm getting paid, a handsome salary for a different skill set.
Right. So the question is success in any, first of all, there's a couple things. There's a lot of things that you do in whatever area you're in that what you've learned to succeed there can be applied in succeeding in many other areas of your life. So there's a lot of skills that you'll be able to bring over to just about any other trade or anything else that you're going to do. Now, for you want to be a life coach, but the question is what skills and abilities do you have that will add to people's lives? Like, so who could be your target customer? You have to decide, well, first of all, I need to be able to do something that's going to generate $8K a month. All right. That's the first thing I know that I have to do. I must create $8K per month. So that's finding one person to pay me $8,000 a month, two people. If I just have two clients who pay me $4,000 a month, or can I find 8 people who will pay me $1,000 a month? Or can I find 16 people who will pay me $500 a month? That's all this is. It's a math problem. Okay? Right. So the question is as a life coach, what products or services will I offer that where one client would get a great return on investment of paying $8,000 per month to me? Chances are that's going to be a struggle for you to believe is possible. Although when I assume that for some people, I'm actually shocked at the number of people that say whatever their number is, and sometimes it's way more than 8K. They say, yeah, I know, I can think of 3 people who might pay me $20K a month. And I'm like, well, there you go. Just find one of them and you've replaced your income. And so I'm always shocked when that happens, but it's kind of cool. That's why I always ask the question, whatever your monthly income is that you need to replace, can you find one person who will pay that on a recurring basis? And they said, yeah. I'm like, well, done deal. Go do that. Find 3 of them and you'll be fine. So the thing but the question is as a life coach, even if you go down to something where all of a sudden you get clients who are paying you $500 per month, well, do you believe that you're worth $500 a month? Is there some reason why you want to go into this field, that you feel confident that this is the direction you should go? And so that's my next question for you, Scott, is life coaching. Is there a reason why you, forgetting about how you get deflated when you have conversations with people who don't believe it, but when you actually have the most confidence in your desire to pursue this, what is it that makes you think that you're worth, that you can make a living doing life coaching and that you should?
The fact that I turned my own life around, like around 2008, I was a low point in my life. My marriage was a wreck. I was on the verge of a nervous breakdown at work. And, I was an absentee father. I was never really around for my kids. And so like, I felt this tremendous guilt because of that. And, I talk about the pleasure pain principle. I mean, like at that point, my wife was going to leave me if I didn't make corrections in my life. And so I, also speaking to one of the things you just said earlier was I actually took the skills of being an editor, a film editor, and I figured out a way to transpose that over self-coaching. And I turned myself around by what I call editing myself. It's actually the method of coaching that I'm developing called editing yourself. And so, just having the knowledge that there are people who need this kind of thing and that I have a solution for them, that makes it all worthwhile for me. That's what really drives me. So I have that goal set, in the distance, and I can see that I have the tools that people can really use and leverage, especially if they're creative minded people. They can use my tools and think of those and apply them much easier than like some of the more traditional coaching methods. It just makes more sense to like a creative mind. So I know that those people really need this kind of thing sometimes, and that I have a solution for those folks. So that really is what motivates me to do it.
So let me ask you the next question then. And has anybody out there came to you and say, Scott, can you teach me this? Have you worked with people, paid or unpaid, to coach them through this process?
Yeah, people have come to me asking for help. They don't necessarily are aware of the process.
Sure. Yeah, but they've come to you and they say, Scott, I recognize that I've recognized in you that you've achieved something that I would love to learn how you did it because I'm struggling. Can you help me? Has that happened?
Absolutely. And like the thing is, like a lot of people come to me more for like health and fitness advice.
Yep.
I don't know why that is necessarily.
It's a big need for a lot of people.
Yeah, I guess they see that, I'm fairly fit for a person my age and also for a person of my lifestyle. I mean, like, in my industry, it's very typical for people in my job position to be very overweight. Mm-hmm. That's just very common. So I guess maybe that's like the trigger and the reason for that. But I mean, I have so much more to offer in terms of relationships and personal development. And people do come for me for that, but most of the time, they're coming to me because they have trouble with, like trying to kick a habit or they're, with weight loss.
Okay. Have you had anybody pay you for some of your help in coaching and whatever it is?
No. And that's, it was very helpful listening to you talk to Colin today, because like there is a little bit of a hang up, because I'm so fresh in being a coach, I'm so new at it. Like I do have this apprehension to charge somebody, and I think that the fact that like I'm allowing some of these other negative thoughts to come in and start to hold me back, I think, is kind of tied together with the fact that I've had a difficult time asking for money.
Yeah. Well, there's no question about that. Scott, you came to Free the Dream, so you have access to the Free the Dream message, right?
Correct. Yes.
Have you gone through the 38 questions on that are in the session called Knowledge is Not Power? And have you walked through on getting leverage for charging people for your coaching? Have you done that one?
I have, yeah. And so, I keep coming back to that because it is such a powerful thing to know that, the skills that I have and the knowledge that I have is something that is going to help somebody.
Yep. So, but you specifically asked charge. So, have you done it where it's literally charging people money for my coaching, and that's the actual goal. That's the behavior that you're filling out that session for. Have you done that one?
I have not. And, part of the problem, Cliff, is that I want to, set up like a professional website and get that stuff done.
Don't need that.
Right.
You don't need a professional website. That's step 8 in the process. So here's what I want to tell you. What you need to do is you need to go back to the Knowledge is Not Power session. And I'm going to pull it up here. So let's see here. What does life and an extraordinary life look for you at the next level? What is your dream? So the answer for number 1 that you want to write in here, I want to charge, and then put whatever rate you want. I want to charge whatever money. Is it for a 3-month coaching program? But you need to actually come up with something where the goal, the dream is, I want to charge people this amount of money for this type of coaching, this package, blah, blah, blah. And it's specifically, the dream is charging people money for my coaching. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Then, question number 2, to achieve your dream, name one behavior that you need to stop doing, that you need to stop doing. So we'll just take this for just a moment. So you have a dream of charging people money for your coaching, right?
Yes.
What's one thing you need to stop doing to achieve this dream?
I need to stop doubting myself. I need to stop creating excuses, from like a platform standpoint, that I need a website, that I need marketing material.
Yep. What about stop offering your coaching for free?
Yeah. Yes.
I'm not saying you can't, but I'm just like, listen, I want to get to the place where I'm charging people for what I'm doing. So for a while, I would say stop giving it away for free. The thing is there are many people who would probably pay for your coaching, but when you offer to give it for free because you have no confidence in actually charging for it, they'll take it for free. The thing is we'll get to some other things, the problems with that. So in the past, what has prevented you from taking the action above? We've already covered that. What is the source of those beliefs? You need to go through and actually restructure your belief system about charging people money.
Right.
And again, I know you said you've gone through this, but not specifically about charging people money.
Right.
All right. People paying you money for your coaching. You need to get very specific and go through those. But there is let's see here. What question did I? The leverage. I want to get to the leverage. So I'll tell you what is it about? How can you assign unbearable, massive amount of immediate pain to the idea of not charging somebody for your coaching? So all of a sudden it's like, what pain, like if all of a sudden you're tempted to say, okay, let me just offer to coach you for free. We'll get on the phone once a week, every other week for the next couple months. I'll just do it for free for you. What pain can you associate to the idea of even thinking about offering that?
Is it okay to assign, like the disapproval of my wife?
Is that painful to you?
That's probably the most painful thing that I could think of.
Then you need to write that down as number 1, my friend.
Okay. All right.
The disapproval of your wife for you giving away your time for free. Dude, I'm going to pour on some pain. You ready for this one? Now that see, dude, you just gave me leverage. I want you to know this. Every time you sit down to coach someone for free without charging them money outside of your day job, what you're doing is a hobby. It is a hobby. And this hobby is costing you your time. And every hour that you spend with somebody who's not paying you money for this hobby that makes you feel all good about yourself, basically what you're doing is saying those people are way more important than spending that time in quality relationship with your wife.
Ouch. Yeah. Yeah. That's a really good way to reframe that.
Now, let me just say this. I'm not saying that you can't ever offer your services, your coaching, and your help and advice to people for free. That's not what I'm saying here. But wait until you've got so many clients that are paying you that all of a sudden now your wife is like, wow, she's encouraging you. Oh my gosh, you made $300 this month from helping that person, and all you had to do was talk to them for 1 hour twice this month, and they paid you $300. And you had how many people who did that? And all of a sudden she's getting excited, and you're actually taking the money that people have paid you to go out on special dates that you couldn't quite afford before. You know, hey, just want you to know, this date night that you and I are having, baby, sponsored to you by my coaching clients.
That's brilliant. Yeah.
See that now all of a sudden, now what did I just do? I started associating immediate pleasure to those. And so the opposite of the number one pain is the displeasure of your wife to the pleasure of your wife, who's now benefiting from the fact that people are paying you.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's like, okay, I totally understand why you need to go away for the next hour and do that coaching call, and instead of helping me out around the house right now. And I completely endorse it, because I know that you and I are going to be able to go out on that next big date that we've talked about. You know, it's like, just imagine having a couple coaching clients, and what you want to do is you want to start picturing like, man, if I was able to achieve this many coaching clients paying this amount of money on a monthly basis for 3 months, then all of a sudden I would be able to do a special trip for me and my wife. And I, like, maybe that special trip is a place she's always wanted to go. And I don't know what your wife loves to do, but let's just say she's always dreamed of an awesome trip to New York City, show on Broadway, special dinner out on the town, and maybe a shopping where she could go buy a purse at one of those fancy places. And it's going to cost, a couple $1,000. Let's just say it's going to be $5,000 for that trip. But man, that all of a sudden it's like, man, but if I could actually generate that, I mean, I have the day job. I'm not looking to leave the day job right away. I'm just trying to validate this business, man. And by validating this business, I'm going to generate this amount of income. And if I could get this many clients at this much amount, after 3 months, I'd have enough money saved up to say, hey, honey, we're going to New York City next weekend. Or you
oh yeah, that would pay big dividends. Yeah,
exactly. And so it goes back to your original question. How do I get my spouse on board? You start showing her the fruits.
Right.
The fruits. All right. And yeah, you it's like, listen, this is possible. It's happening. And stop giving away stop doing it for free. You don't have to. You just start building relationships and saying, listen, this is a package that I have. Here's what it costs, and this is how I can help you. And go out and build relationships with people one person at a time. Doesn't take a big sales page. Matter of fact, you don't even need a website. You just email people once you get to know them, or send them Facebook Messenger messages. Just like say.
Yeah, okay.
There's lots of ways that people and how people can pay you. There's tons of different ways that you don't need a website for people to be able to pay you. Stripe.com is free, by the way. So,
I've got a Stripe account. I already have that.
Yeah. So anytime somebody says, I'm ready to hire you, you can go in and create a subscription monthly, $500 a month, $300 a month, whatever it is monthly that they're going to pay you, and go and set it up and send them the invoice. They'll pay you instantly and schedule the call. None of that needs a website.
Ah, brilliant.
So
That's awesome.
So the thing is, though, is so your wife's disapproval of you giving away your time for free and not charging and not being able to land those clients, that's one thing. What other kind of pain can you associate to not getting paid for your coaching program?
Well, I mean, it's a painful thought to think that there's folks that are in a similar situation to what I was in 2008, and they're not getting the help that they need.
Yep.
You know, that bothers me. Just knowing, you know, and part of that's an awareness problem. I mean, like there's, but that's, you know, like a bigger issue that I can really tackle on my own. Is, you know, like our society doesn't put a lot of value in mental health and coaching. And
I want to tell you right now, what you just stated is yet, I don't know if you're aware of this, because we talk about in session 1 of Free the Dream, becoming aware of limiting beliefs. And I don't know if you're aware of that, but you just expressed another limiting belief. Did you hear it?
That people are not aware?
Our society does not value and appreciate the need for mental health.
You're right. I just said that.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Do you believe that that's true?
I don't believe that that's completely true. No, I don't.
So
I know for a fact that's not really true.
Tell me why you know for a fact it's not true.
Well, because I've paid for therapy.
You have?
I've paid for coaching.
Yep. Where else have you just heard people in public talking about mental health stuff? Give me some examples.
I've heard like a couple of TED Talks where people talk about mental health.
How popular are those TED Talks?
They're extremely popular. They have millions of views on YouTube.
Yep.
So I know for a fact that there are plenty of people that would be eager to work with me.
What happened after Robin Williams committed suicide? Did mental health come into the public consciousness at all?
Oh, of course. Yeah. So you're right.
Okay.
And
what about this Anthony Bourdain guy? And and what about the girl who had the very successful fashion brand?
The designer, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So you're telling me that you believe that people out there aren't talking about the value and the need for mental health? No, it's everywhere. It's on everyone's mind. And the reality is people are finally being awoken to the idea that, wait, you mean I'm not the only one who's dealing with this? And people are like, and now today, the stigma of experiencing depression and mental health needs, the stigma has never been as low as it is now. And not only seeking help, but talking publicly about how you're getting help and how that helps other people.
Right.
That's never been as praised as much as it is now.
Oh, that's so true. No, you're totally right. Podcasts. Yeah. I mean, NPR, Netflix. You're right. That topic is actually a super hot topic.
There have never been more people who are as receptive to seeking mental health help and coaching as there is today. In all experience of all history, today people are more receptive and more open to it now than ever before. That's a lot different than the belief that you just stated a few minutes ago.
It's polar opposite. You're right. And what you just said is completely true.
I know it is.
Yeah. No, it's absolutely true. So,
and I knew that you knew it to be true as well, but you were so conditioned.
Yeah.
You had that thought that our society and our culture does not appreciate the need for mental health issues, and there's such a stigma. And the reality is that used to be true. 15 years ago, and even in further, it's like anybody who had any kind of depression issues or something, it's like you put them in the psych ward, and it was so taboo. All of this stuff. When you and I grew up, when we were kids, dude, you don't talk about that stuff. And so what happened is you had repeated in your own mind about what the stigma is about mental health and people who might want to seek health, and how our society and culture feels about that. That's been repeated in your mind so many times. It's been so conditioned that you've been completely unaware of what's happened and what's shifted over the last 5 years, 5 to 10 years in this area. And now it's everywhere. Everybody's talking about how it's like, Casey Neistat just called. Do you know who Casey Neistat is?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Okay, the single most popular vlogger on YouTube launched a podcast called Couples Therapy, where he and his wife every week talk about their therapy sessions, their mental health therapy sessions.
I was not aware of that. That's interesting. That's really interesting.
Go look it up. It's called Couples Therapy in your favorite podcast directory.
Okay.
So you can see, Scott, your beliefs about those things will determine your actions of, people probably don't want to talk to me about their mental, there are people out there dying. It maybe not like on the verge of suicide, but there are people who are they're dying inside. Yeah. And those people need to hear from you. And you know what? Those people would be willing to pay to seek advice. And the other thing is when people pay for something, the more somebody is invested financially, the more they're going to work to get a return on it. There are so many reasons why you should actually be out there successfully charging money for what you're going to do. And you have to do it, because if you don't start charging people money, you're just going to prove all those employees, those coworkers, right, that it's just not possible. Are you going to let them win?
No, Cliff, they are not going to win.
Exactly. Yeah. Are you gonna disappoint your wife any further by sitting there having this dream?
I can't do that anymore.
No.
Right.
So go and get yourself a paid coaching client and take all of the money from that client and freaking take her out for a date and say, tonight's date, everything paid for by a one-on-one coaching client.
Yeah, that's I think fantastic advice. That's really that's gonna help, build momentum.
So here's the thing. It's not a lack of resources, it's a lack of resourcefulness. Do the 38 questions on charging people money. And at the end of the 38 questions, it says, what can I do? What actions can I take within the next 12 hours, 24 hours? Here's what I want. I want to hear from you. It's December 22nd. By the end of January, I would love to get an email from you for every time somebody has just paid you for coaching. I don't care if it's 1 hour for 1 3-month package. It doesn't matter to me. Anytime somebody has emailed you, and I would love to have a minimum of one email saying, Cliff, so-and-so just paid me this amount for this coaching, and I did this with the money. I want one of those emails by the end of January.
Okay.
Can you do that?
I will do it.
All right. Yeah. And what's going to happen if you don't do it?
Well, you just added another layer of peril to it, because I respect you tremendously. So I'm gonna lose a little bit of status with you, which that's not really an option for me. And even worse is my wife is going to lose a little bit of respect for me as well, because she knows that I've been working at this so hard.
Well, go and make it happen. One person by the end of January who has paid you for a minimum of 1 hour of coaching for you. Go do the work, my friend.
Absolutely. Thank you, Cliff.
My pleasure, Scott. Awesome. Thank you so much. I am so excited. Like, you've taken some massive action. Go work on that belief system. I'm glad we just made you aware of another limiting belief and completely replaced it with an empowering one.
Yes.
It's going to help you. Keep doing the work, and I look forward to hearing from you. And I'll be doing some more coaching calls and mentoring calls like this in the future. Well, there you go, my friends. That was the live mentoring session that I did with Scott Markowitz, and I am so honored that him and Rob and Colin all allowed me to have a live, very open, very vulnerable mentoring session that I was able to share with some folks in my community, just to give you an idea of the consequences of the beliefs that we have All right. All beliefs have consequences. And if you believe that our society does not put value in what it is that I have to offer and that people just are not interested, that belief is going to keep you from making significant strides moving forward. If you believe I have to have a professional website before I start marketing my services, well, guess what? You're going to delay that marketing of your services until you have the perfect, most professional looking website. And you know what? It's not necessary. There are so many limiting beliefs that hold us back. All beliefs have consequences, even the good ones. Great beliefs. By the way, there are empowering beliefs, and they have consequences as well. It just so happens that, going to the gym, I have a belief that going to the gym is incredibly rewarding. It's a way to invigorate my soul. I get so much endorphins. I get so much dopamine. I get so excited. My mind operates with more clarity, and I come up with all kinds of inspired ideas every single time I go to the gym. That's my belief. All right. Now, guess what? As a result of that, I'm more excited to go work out every time I decide, hey, it's time to go work out. The belief that I'm going to go and enjoy my time at the gym, I'm going to feel great, and I'm going to be inspired with new ideas. I'm going to come up with solutions to problems that I'm facing at the gym that I would have never come up with on my own. That belief gets me to the gym. That's a different consequence than the belief that, if I go to the gym, it's just full of extremely fit people that are going to judge me as soon as I walk in the door. And I ain't got time to go to the gym. Those beliefs are going to hold you back. All beliefs have consequences. There was another value here, and it's understanding the importance of leverage. And this is all a part of the Free the Dream message. The Free the Dream message. You've heard me talk about the conference. There's now an online course version of Free the Dream. If you haven't done so already, go right now, mindsetanswerman.com/free session. Mindsetanswerman.com/free session. Get your free access to the opening session. It will teach you what beliefs are, how did you get them, and how to become aware of them. And once you become aware of them, how do you eliminate or eradicate those limiting beliefs from your life? How do you install new beliefs and condition them so that you will start taking different actions? Remember, this is all about what do you want to change in your life? What area of your life are you ready to take to the next level? Well, for you to take it to the next level, you're going to have to start taking different actions consistently, not just for a period of time, for as long as your willpower will allow you to do it. No, you need to change the root of your behavior, and all behavior is belief driven. All behavior is belief driven. If you do not change your beliefs, you will not be able to sustain new actions. It's that clear. You have to learn all about this belief system problem that we have. Head over to mindsetanswerman.com/free session today and watch that video. You'll understand why people said, Cliff, I thought I was going to put this on in the background and just listen to it while I was doing the dishes or while I was working. Whatever. Dude, you drew me in. I have never been so glued. It's like, wow, mind blown. And everyone has said, Cliff, I can't wait to go back and watch it again. And the next time I'm taking notes. That's awesome. If you sign up, by the way, for over at mindsetanswerman.com/free session, the following day, automated, you will get an email from me with notes from that talk. They're very professional notes, including the formula that I share inside of there. It's incredible. Sign up for it. And also, I am doing more of these live sessions, these free mentoring sessions for people. I can't do it for everyone. It's kind of that, I talked with Scott. It's like, listen, one of the things Scott needs to do, he needed to stop offering free mentoring, free coaching, right? Now, I'm not opposed to free coaching. I did it for free for Scott right then and there. All right. So, and who knows, if you sign up for the free session over at mindsetanswerman.com/free session, you can actually sign up and you might be invited to another one of these live sessions, and you could be one of the people who receive a free mentoring session with me if you're willing to do it in front of an audience. So I just want to let you know, mindsetanswerman.com/free session, and you'll learn all about belief system and how you can completely get the different results you want in 2019 and beyond. How about this? What if you could actually make a commitment to change one of the behaviors in your life and not only be able to do it for the entire month of January, but 6 months into the year, you're still actively, aggressively achieving success in that area of your life. And you're still doing it more than 4 years later. I'm telling you, it's not only possible, it will happen if you actually go and get the access to the free session over at mindsetanswerman.com/free session. And also, I want to let you know real quickly here at the end of the episode, I'm offering a special mentoring offer that is available for limited time only. You may have heard over the years that I offer a mentoring package. It's $3,500 for 3 one-hour sessions. I've had people who I've worked with in this capacity share in this podcast in prior episodes where they said, Cliff, I got more than $3,500 of value in the first hour alone. And by the way, the conversation I just had with Scott, that wasn't even an hour. That was like 32 minutes. Okay, so just imagine what you and I could cover in just 1 hour. We could help you become aware of some limiting beliefs, and I can help you completely eradicate them. And not only that, but I can help you get some leverage. I just scratched the surface with Scott. I mean, we just barely scratched the surface with Scott, but I'm convinced there's just enough leverage there for him to get some results. I'm convinced by the end of January, I will have at least one email where somebody's paid him. He'll probably get so excited about it after the first one that he'll have several that will immediately follow after it. All right, so I can't wait to share those updates with you. I'd like to help you in this area, and you're thinking, well, Cliff, I can't afford your $3,500 package. First of all, that's a limiting belief. However, here's what I have. I have a desire. I have a goal. I want to help 30 people within 30 days. And I started this on December 27th. I emailed my list and let them know. I'm offering for a limited time only from December 27th through January 26th. You can hire me for a 1 hour, one-on-one mentoring session for only $500. You don't have to sign up for a multiple session package. I don't need it, quite frankly. I can help you in 1 hour, whatever your greatest challenge is from changing your behavior, whatever goal you want to go over, whatever is holding you back. There is a simple process. I didn't say easy, but there is a simple process that I can walk you through to get different results in your life, and it's happening time and time again with everyone I work with. I want to do it for you. One-on-one session, one-time commitment, $500. You can sign up right now at mindsetanswerman.com/mentor. And the great news is, guess what? It's private. It's just me and you. I'm not going to ask you at the end of that call, hey, can I share this with my community? The only reason you heard from Scott in here and some other folks in my vlog, it's simply because those guys all agreed ahead of time that, hey, I know that I'm getting this for free and I'm doing this in front of this group. Even beyond that, I've asked for permission to share it in a podcast or a vlog. So I don't want you to ever think that Cliff just shares all of his mentoring sessions with people. I've had hundreds of mentoring sessions over the last 10 years, and I've never shared any of those details with you guys. But I decided I want to start letting people know. I want to give people a feel for what it is that I'm doing. And I hope that you got a little taste of it here. And I would love, number one, for you to start off, head over to mindsetanswerman.com/free session. Learn about what a belief is. Learn how you developed your beliefs. You need to understand, how did you adopt the beliefs that you have today? I share with you several ways that you got them, where they came from, how to become aware of them, and how to eliminate the ones that limit you. All right? It's all covered in a 1 hour free session at mindsetanswerman.com/free session. And if there's something that you want to achieve in 2019 that you've tried in the past, you've seen a little bit of success here and there, but you keep going back to the old actions that get you the same old results over and over again, I can help you break the cycle, break the pattern forever. Head over to mindsetanswerman.com/mentor. mindsetanswerman.com/mentor. Sign up today for a 1-hour, one-on-one private mentoring session with me for only $500, only available through January 26th, 2019. All right, there you go. mindsetanswerman.com/free session. mindsetanswerman.com/mentor. I look forward to connecting with you soon. Until next time, I encourage you to take everything you do to the next level.